Album review. Today's album is While She Sleeps, You Are We. I'm joined today by Will,
Hiya.
Aidan,
Sleeps.
myself, Denver, and Joe.
Hello. So yeah, this it's another metal album. This is the first recorded metal album that we've done. Like we've posted it and stuff. So I feel like I'm gonna get ripped into. I always do this thing when I listen to metal albums where I try and put my ears in the brains of you guys. So
Yeah.
I like trying to imagine how you guys are feeling
Okay.
while listening to this album, and I feel like I'm gonna get ripped into a little bit. However, I really enjoyed it. I just I've been looking forward to doing While She Sleeps for a while, and I've been debating which album to pick. And this is definitely one of the more softer albums that they've done.
Have you like heard this whole album before, or had you just like heard a few
I have,
songs?
yeah.
Right.
I've
So you
heard
knew this
there was
album.
like a couple of songs that I hadn't heard.
Right.
Um, and
So you hadn't heard the
here's
album before.
Here's the thing with this album is no, I hadn't heard it.
It was a lie. He did just lie.
Did I just contradict myself?
Yeah, I mean, but it's okay.
It's okay. We expect it, Joe. It's fine. Refreshing.
It takes a drink. Fucking professional, that.
Stay hydrated, guys.
You gotta stay
During
hydrated.
a pandemic.
So the
Everyone knows
songs
if you
I
keep
knew-
taking water, it kills the virus.
I mean, it does. I mean, this
Exactly.
is tea. I'm drinking tea.
I feel like why not?
For
So
no.
I-
Now, just pause, guys. I want to. No, don't actually pause, but I do
Oh,
want
I thought you meant you were gonna go.
Oh,
make
yeah, I
yourself-
thought you were gonna go make a tea. Yeah.
Joe, you just do your bit, and by the time you're done, I should have made a cup of tea.
All right. So yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
You
fine.
go do your thing.
I'll just send you a memo of like the footnotes of what Joe said.
Oh, I don't want to know. Don't worry.
Okay.
No, carry
Yeah,
on.
me too. So before going into this album and listening to it fully, I was thinking the songs that I do know are absolutely insane, and they are what we would call a banger.
No, don't say we.
Sorry, what I would
Yep.
call a banger.
Yeah.
I'm
good.
interested.
And I think it's one of those albums where I really, really, really like the songs that are good, but then there's just kind of average songs on there as well. And they're kind of if you were a metal fan like myself, and I can imagine this is probably one of the points that you will bring up, you probably won't be able to tell them song from song. They're all very, very samey. They kind of all have the same structure, the same guitar tone, the same kind of breakdown, the same kind of vocals, all the way through each of the songs.
Vocals.
And for someone who, like me, who really likes that kind of sound, that's fine. But I think this album's best enjoyed like on a playlist than actually listening to the album itself.
Or while hacking a finger off.
I've only
so-
lost 3 fingers while listening to this album. I think that's pretty
With that said, my least favorite song was Civil Isolation. And the reason that is because I didn't think it made that much sense structure-wise. I thought it was a little bit of a mess. But I still enjoyed it. It's just one that I would always skip if I had the chance. Throughout the whole album, I thought the screamer, the guy who did the screaming, I guess they all kind of did screaming, both the vocalists, there's 2 vocalists.
And the drummer.
There was 2 vocalists.
There's 2 vocalists, there's a singy vocalist and a
Singy.
screaming vocalist. But when I say singy, I mean more like chanty. He does like the more chanty stuff.
He's a hype man.
That's it. It's like,
Hype
oh,
man.
big man. Yeah,
Smoke trees.
Yes,
full
man.
trees.
It's a yes
Yeah, he's
man.
like that guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought this screaming guy was absolutely insane. I don't know if you guys watched any of the video. I don't think there is any videos for. I think there's one for Silence Speaks, but I think that's it. I don't think there's actually any videos for it.
There's videos for Hurricane
right.
and
I did.
another one.
I did think
So-
the Screamo artist was quite good.
Thank you. I don't know why I'm saying thank you. It's not my.
Joe
Yeah, the
produced
screaming
it.
guy's good, but I actually preferred the backing singer. Obviously, I don't even know if you guys knew there were a backing.
I didn't realise there was more than one singer now.
Fair enough. Yeah, the guitarist is also a singer. And I thought he was better, personally. I enjoy his bits better than I do the main screamy guy. I feel, and you guys are probably going to disagree with this, that it doesn't feel like an emo album. It's not. It's not an emo album, but you know what I mean? Like the classic Slipknot, Slayer type of thing. It doesn't feel like emo. It feels like more mature. Would you
No.
agree?
No, absolutely not.
I know it's differences, but I wouldn't say. I don't know.
Thing is, I wouldn't
It's
have
hard to say.
described screamo-y as emo.
Or mature.
I mean, more like,
See,
you know, those
emo is
people
more-
that, you know, your stereotype that wear all black, like chains and like proper gothic, like it doesn't feel like that type
Oh no,
of
these
album.
are definitely more like a wage war kind of people.
Yeah, they're metalcore.
Yeah, same.
Just something to note.
I also sometimes
Um,
feel I'm pretty metalcore.
I'm metal.
I'm only metal. Hurricane is a song in the album, and I'm seriously fucking sick of songs being called Hurricane. I feel like every band ever has a song called Hurricane.
I agree with that. Like, why is that a thing that keeps happening?
Like, legit.
But why is it always your picks as well?
I know.
To be fair, I know one song called Hurricane. And,
Yep.
yeah.
Wait, hang on. Panic at the
And
Disco.
who's that by?
Oh, did they do another? Did they do a
Panic
Hurricane?
at the
They do,
Disco.
yeah.
I Prevail. It was in I Prevail's album as well.
Yeah, to be fair, when I typed, no.
Hurricane Katrina, more like Hurricane Tortilla.
I'm typing in Google now, right? Song's called Hurricane.
Okay.
I always think of Luke Combs' Hurricane. Hit me like a hurricane.
Everyone has a song. Bob Dylan, 30 Seconds to Mars, Halsey,
Fuck me.
Panic at the Disco, Rihanna, The Vamps. They all have songs called
Fuck.
Hurricanes.
Yeah, they really do, don't they?
These get more inventive, like Tornado.
Fuck
Yeah.
yourself. This song's not called Hurricane, it's called Category 9 Hurricane.
The Wurlitzer Boys.
It's a Wurlitzer.
It's weird how when
No.
people think of Hurricane, they always think of Hurricane Katrina.
More like Hurricane Tortilla.
Even though it's like, that was just like an arbitrary
It wasn't
name.
even that bad of a hurricane.
I think that was a pretty bad one. But there's
Nah,
been
only a
lots
few
since that
thousand people
nobody
died.
remembers.
Come on.
Just a few thousand.
What
Yeah.
was the storm we had recently? What was that called?
Joshua.
There was a lot, wasn't there? I thought there was one called like, wasn't it? It had a
Storm
weird
Dennis.
name.
Storm
Dennis.
Dennis, that was it.
That was it, yeah.
I love that we call it a storm. A bin fell over, and you're like, "Fuck, it's a storm."
Watch out, boys. The waters are rough.
Whereas in America, it's like 18,000 houses were destroyed.
Yeah, and we're just like, "Oh shit, my trampoline's in the neighbour's house. What am I gonna do?"
It's not quite that. There was a hell of a lot of flooding, guys.
Yeah, and
Like,
also,
especially in Wales. Wales got hit fucking hard.
Yeah, but no one likes. Wales.
also
Apparently-
America's houses are made of just wood, so they blow over really easy.
See, they didn't learn from the Three Little Pigs.
Exactly. As
Hurricane will
English.
huff and puff and ruin your entire life.
But it's also a
Fucking
climate thing.
Dennis.
Like, in hot countries, you don't want, like, thick brick houses.
I mean, I want thick.
I definitely want thick.
Compilation.
Let's not go into this. Right, carry on, Joe.
So, my third favourite song was Silence Speaks with Ollie Sykes. And I have a feeling this is probably going to be all of your favourites. I could be wrong. Because it was the most melodic. It had the little ooh, ooh bits in it, which are quite nice. I feel it's just the most melodic one in general. And also Ollie Sykes is in it, which I know Will was probably excited about and then disappointed when he realised he was doing his screaming stuff.
Yeah, I didn't even
Um,
realize he was in it. I'll be honest.
Honestly, Ollie Sykes' bit is the like breakdown bit in the song.
They all have a breakdown.
I
You
don't
have to be a
think
bit
it's
more
going to
specific.
be. I don't think it's going to be everyone's favourite.
No?
I think that'll be settled down society.
Okay, that's interesting. I So yeah,
early call from Will there.
Ollie Sykes was in a bit, and honestly, the breakdown in that song is just so headbangy. It's I love it. It's good.
Shut
It's
up.
good stuff. Honestly,
Sorry. Sorry, I just felt myself physically recoil from that statement.
You cannot
It's
help
so
but
headbangy.
Oh wow! You cannot like not headbang to that song.
Oh, I can.
If I had a lot to drink, I could.
One thing that I did note down was that all the breakdowns were absolutely insane and just like so melodic and so good.
I feel like you misuse the word melodic.
You really, I don't think you know what it means.
Like if I think of a melodic song, I think of maybe like a nice piano piece.
Yeah.
Right. The thing is like I like bands that break away. Like you say breakdown and all you think is do 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 do. Whereas like bands like this, like they break away from that and they try and get like
whip out
rhythm,
the sax,
like, rhythmic, melodic.
See, why
it's,
don't
like,
they
so
whip out
good.
the sax?
like 1975.
Like, honestly, saxophone solos are dead, and they need to come back.
They're not dead.
There are so many great 80s songs that just had sax solos in it. You're like, what the fuck? This is awesome. So melodic. I could bang my head to this.
So my second favorite song was "Feel." Did I already say that?
No, you didn't.
No.
It's "Feel" because again that had such a sick breakdown. That down.
I did put cool riff in my notes on that one.
That's the breakdown. It's like awesome, cool riff. That had like a weird rock vibe to it. I think "Feel" did. It was cool. I liked it. And then my favorite song is "You Are We," being the title of the album as well. I feel like it was like a perfect blend of like all the themes that they were trying to get across. So they had like the emotional impact of it. They had like the heavy thrash out bits. They had the clean bits as well. I felt like it was all just like, it was like all those themes that they were working on in the album put into one song. And I felt like it blended amazingly. Very excited about this. I really like this album. So there you go. That's my review. Please be gentle.
It's not your album.
Thank you, Joe. I thought this album. Where do I start? Okay, I'm going to start with an analogy. Okay. I feel like I've hyped up this analogy too much.
You really
have.
have.
It's
Denver
not that
has
great.
spoke about this analogy like every fucking day since this album's come out. Denver's like, I got the perfect analogy.
But I feel like it is perfect because I feel like this isn't necessarily just about this album, but this is about Screamo in general, right? What I've learned from having played more metal albums and sort of introduced, especially me, like I'd never heard any like Screamo before, really. To the point where I now feel like Screamo is Marmite. Okay? Like, some people love it, some people hate it. Me, however, I can have Marmite if it's very thinly spreaded on toast, like just a little bit. And it's like, it adds to the toast. But a bit like Joe and his ketchup, if you just smother it in Screamo, it's shit. Or even a medium amount of Screamo, it's shit. Like, it's ruined. And so even the non-Screamo parts in these songs was so off-put by the fact that then when they would have Screamo, when I felt like it was so unnecessary that I just couldn't even... I couldn't comprehend if it was good or not. I'm sorry, I don't know. I resist the Screamo so much, like that.
That was your perfect analogy.
Yes, the Marmite analogy. I feel like that is a perfect analogy.
I like that. That makes sense.
That's a 3 out of 10 at best.
No, because it is like now? You put a little bit of Marmite on toast, just a little bit.
It's still gross.
No, it adds. It adds.
This is to you though.
This is
only is of you. This isn't like a relatable analogy.
I was gonna say because like for me, like a little bit of Marmite on toast ruins the whole thing. Like if you're gonna put a little bit of something on, you might as well go all out.
With ketchup on toast, Joe Midwood.
But yeah, this is an analogy for me, and even though I wouldn't choose to have Marmite on it. I wouldn't choose to have Screamo in a song. But if there's a little bit, it's nice. I can respect that, especially if the rest of the toast and the butter's really nice. But yeah, so, and that's how I felt with this album. Just like, I feel like it was unnecessarily screamo. I don't feel that there was never any point in which I felt like that added to the song. It only made it worse.
It was all screamo, pretty much. Even like the stingy parts were screamy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like I was kind of let down by that analogy. I just want to.
So, yeah. So I just it just didn't like
There's
it.
a lot of hype.
But the
for that.
backing music was quite good throughout. But then again, I couldn't even rate it based on that because the screamer was just so off-putting and just overpowers everything in it. My least favourite song, there could have been a lot of different songs that were least favourite. I couldn't really pick, so I went with Revolt because it summed up the album, which was revolting. Oh, dropped the pen.
Oh, nice! You've gone for a jokey worst one as well.
Yeah, because even though it could have equally could have been
any of them.
Well,
Yeah.
the ones I shortlisted for the worst were Feel, Silence Speaks, Settle Down, Revolt, and Civil Isolation.
That's like half the album.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
all. It's terrible.
They're all shit, Joe.
Oh no!
They were in my worst ones, and I've put a side note next to Silence Speaks as not most melodic. If anything, I thought that was the most screamo-y one.
Really?
Silence Speaks, yeah, it's like the whole thing is.
What about those parts where it goes? Ooh?
What about that one bit in that one song, Denver? Don't you remember that
No,
one
I
section of it? What do you mean, that one
I
section?
remember it being like it was like a screamo battle between two singers.
You're right,
Sykes.
it is. Yes, thank you, Joe. Just by saying the word doesn't make it a good song. And the thing is, he's definitely the reason it's got like fucking 29 million plays on Spotify, which is 19 million more than their next highest. The only reason is because Ollie Sykes is written in the title.
Oh, 100%.
Who is Ollie Sykes?
Bring Me the Horizon.
Bring Me the Horizon singer.
Right, okay.
And everyone pretends they like Bring Me the Horizon too. So
Bring Me.
It's just one of them things. Bring Me, sorry.
It's definitely not pretend.
Yeah, okay, well. Sounds like your Marmite. I said, I don't want you anywhere near me.
Third favourite. You Are We. Because it gives you 28 seconds of hope at the start of the album.
Well, where it's nice and acoustic.
Yes.
And it goes, yo!
And even then, actually, outside of that, I didn't hate listening to that song. Because I feel like it was still good-ish. Like, I wouldn't ever really listen to it, but like I didn't hate it to listen to it like some of the others. Like, I feel like that could play in the background and be like, oh, okay. Second favourite, Hurricane. I wrote no notes next to this, but if anything, that was a positive, because everything else I wrote notes next to, like whether it being slagging off or, well, no, just slagging off. Yeah, Hurricane I thought was alright, because I think the scream bits weren't that bad, and then there wasn't all that much of it, maybe? I can't remember. Even though I did just listen to it. It had a good music video as well. It was kind of like, I'll say that, it was just them playing in a little gig thing, but yeah, I ain't got a lot more to say to that. And then number one was Empire of Silence.
Really?
Because it had, despite the fact that it wasn't like the least screamo or anything, but it had nice builds, and I quite liked the lyrics, i.e. one line.
Oh yeah, can you sing that line for us?
No, it's something to do with walls and bridges.
Yeah, but can you sing it?
No.
Can you try?
No.
Building walls when they should have been bridges.
Yes,
that's the line you like.
Yes.
Then I'm out here fucking these bitches. Oh.
Because, I don't know, I felt like it was just quite a good line. So I was like,
It
I
reminds
remember
you of Death Stranding.
It reminded...
It does.
It was like a hook line, because it's the only line in the whole album I could remember. Like, even when I'd have to listen to the album once, I remembered that line.
I think that is the issue with screaming, isn't it? Where you can't really get on top of the vocal hook.
Exactly, it's just noise.
Because you can't really scream yourself, or most people can't anyway. And like, there's not a lot of melody there either. So there's like that. I would agree that is an issue with screamy is that there's not really a hook.
And I think that's.
It's
I think you've
there's
nailed
not
it there,
anything.
Joe. Because I like a lot of songs. I like to imagine myself singing them.
Yeah.
As if I made the song and I could sing like the person
I
singing.
totally agree with that.
But
Like, do you ever have like, those car trips and like you're singing the song and you're like imagining yourself like
you are performing the gig
you're
of
performing
your
the
playlist. Yes.
gig, yeah.
When I was younger, I used to listen to songs like before I'd go to sleep, especially. And if there was like a particularly good part in a song, I used to go back and listen to that particular bit and just pretend I was singing it live all the time. Like, just it always had to be like a specific bit in a song, and once it had played over, I'd go back and listen to that part again just to do the performance bit again.
You know, when I was younger, one time I ran out of socks and had to put a glove on my foot.
What?
Sorry, I just thought we were sharing things.
Oh my god. Me too. Apparently, a lot of people are putting latex gloves on their feet at the minute.
Why?
You can't be too careful. Ground might be infected.
You know, pandemic, innit?
Yeah,
Yeah, but you can't get infected through your feet.
You know,
When
you
do you?
never know.
The only reason you put gloves on your hands is because you touch your face a lot. Like
Do you not
whose
touch your
foot touches
face
their
with your
face
feet?
a lot?
Mine
do
often.
you not scratch the back of your head with your feet?
No.
Like a dog. You're not like a
Foot
dog.
fetish, Denver.
What? The foot fetish of the foot fetish of scratching the back of your head with your foot. Is that a
No,
fetish?
Some people suck on toe.
Come on,
Okay.
Debbie, you're so ignorant to the kink world.
I don't, but like,
Well, I mean, you know, you brought it
you
up.
seem like quite knowledgeable on the topic.
Can you tell
no,
us
I
more?
just know that I don't know anything about it.
You don't know?
Joe had foot fetish, didn't he?
Yeah, you did.
No. I just
No.
thought. No, I thought that a foot fetish meant the opposite of what it is. Like, I thought a foot fetish meant that you're like disgusted by feet.
Right.
So I
So
love the
once-
idea that you've
once
gone
I was-
around telling people.
It's like, oh, I have a foot fetish, and everyone's like, oh, okay, Joe.
Basically, I was in a hot tub with like Aidan and like I think Aidan stuck his foot in my face or something. I went, oh, don't do that. I've got foot fetish, and they were like, get out. And I was like, what? Why? I didn't understand.
Again, Joe just misusing words.
It's literally all the time.
But yes, that's my review.
Okay. Great. Is it me?
It is
It's
you, Aidan.
you.
Okay, so While She Sleeps is another Joe album, and at this point I can't tell if I hate the music or just hate the idea that Joe could put his friends through what can only be described as torture multiple times.
It's been a while, to be fair to
It's
him.
not that bad.
No, but it still happened many a time. And like
Yeah.
they're always just so cringy to listen to. And like they're really like they're hard on the ears. They're just and I'm
That's
pretty
not
sure the
bad.
albums have started making me nauseous, which is a side effect now. And sadly this album doesn't even have a great singer to fall back on, and all the songs are too long.
Oh, yeah,
Especially
sorry.
can-
I forgot that, Matt. Yeah, songs
especially
are too
when-
long.
When there's like nothing to them and they have no right to be as long as they are. 'Cause it's just and the thing is, it's kind of sucks because Denver's stolen all my thunder with like a lot of his jokes, because my least favorite was you are we, and the only reason was because it gave you false hope. That's literally what I've written down. Gives you false hope for like 20 seconds, and then like it could have been any other song, but because it started and you were like, oh, it's not shit. It's not the worst thing I've ever, and then it just ruined it.
I feel like Hurricane does that as well, though.
It does, but Hurricane's kind of okay. And by okay, I mean still shit, but okay.
And
Third
Wide
favourite.
Awake.
Shut up. Third favorite. Silence Speaks. That's right. Because although the lyrics are really cringy and stuff, but this was one of the only songs where, in my opinion, the singing and the screaming kind of worked in tandem. It's one of the only times I feel like they kind of complemented each other a little bit, and it was a very rare occurrence. So, yeah. Second favorite, Hurricane. Again, like Denver, literally didn't have a note on this. It just said it has some singing, I think, in the chorus, in the pre-chorus, maybe. Not that I can really tell. But like he says, it must have been doing something right, because I didn't put anything for it. It was just okay.
Look, can I just butt in for a sec?
No, I'd rather you didn't, to be honest.
All I was going to say
Well, I mean, you did it anyway.
is for them to have like 600,000 monthly listeners.
Joe, don't you start this shit. It doesn't mean that they're good.
It
Just
means they're
because a
doing
load of
something
people listen
right.
to them, it does not mean that they're good.
Like The Weeknd has a lot of monthly listeners now,
And
like,
he's
and I
fucking
do not
wank.
like The Weeknd.
All I'm saying is they've got to be doing something right for a certain group of people.
Well, this is the point that I'm going
Crazy
to bring up.
Americans.
This is the point that I'm going to bring up at the end. So my favorite was Empire of Silence.
Oh
And
shit!
it was
is
probably,
it?
yeah, legit, probably the most singy of the songs on the album, in my opinion. Still doesn't stop it being kind of bad though, and that's literally the number one reason. Because whenever I hear metal, it's like putting up a barrier in my brain that just stops any appreciation for the art of music. I lose all inspiration, like, completely. And like, if you, because I'm going to start getting philosophical here. Metal is kind of like a dirty
Marmite.
smudge on a clean canvas, right?
Right.
It's like the rattling in your car when you're driving along that you just can't be bothered to go fix. You understand? To some people, it could be like calming and brilliant and technical and just the right amount of passion. You know what I mean? Like, but to everybody else, it's just noise.
So like ASMR then.
It is just a mess.
Yeah, I like ASMR.
But like, at least ASMR has something going for it in the sense that it's calming.
Disagree.
Yeah, but this is
fine.
like
Freaks me the fuck out.
full of energy.
That's fine.
It gets you going.
No, but it's not full of energy. It's full of
It's
shit.
for me.
It's full of just wanky top string bollocks.
Like,
and all of it fitted with terrible vocals and
I
cringy
tell you what,
lyrics.
if you actually watch it, I
awful,
learned you are
awful
we on guitar, and it's
breakdowns.
actually really difficult.
I'm sure it is, but that doesn't mean that it's not wank.
well, this is the thing though. Like, I even put like I can appreciate like the backing music to it, but it's just like I feel like it's all these things are unnecessarily ruined by screamo.
I disagree.
I'm not only by screamo, by just like it's like all I can really appreciate in these metal songs is the drumming for the most part. Just because the drummer, he can't do a lot with what he's got, you know. Like all
Just
he
hit
can,
'em
all he
harder.
can do is he just hit the drums. But with guitarists and stuff, they're making the active choice to randomly hit one of the bottom notes, so it makes a horrible whining noise as if they've just smashed a kettle on the floor. There we go. I want that in there. I want that noise. You know what I mean? And then they'll do that, so they'll have the but then they'll go like, oh, but what if we go all the way up the fretboard again? So it goes you know what I mean? And it's always that every single fucking time.
It's not.
And it's shit.
Oh god.
Fuck metal albums, please stop picking them.
Oh.
The thing is, I went into this review going like, I'm gonna start basically being a bit, because we're recording it now. I don't want to basically offend every music fan ever, but every time I start reading it and every time I listen to it, I get more and more angry that this kind of shit exists.
Does anyone do metal that isn't screaming?
Yeah, loads of people do.
System of a Down.
I mean, that's
They
still
are
kind
metal.
of weird. Yeah, but they're kind of weird though, aren't they?
They are, but I fucking love them. There's loads of bands that you could almost class some of A Day to Remember's stuff as metal, but
Because
There is still
it's
screaming
like what we said the other day about, like, I think I look back on some of the other albums I picked, which were metal that I slated, and then like I think, well, they weren't nearly as bad as like more recent stuff we've listened to. So like I think I would appreciate them more. Like in terms of the like, I feel like you started as quite soft.
Did
with
I?
metal
What did I start us with?
issues.
Which is
Yeah, I did start
still
quite
to this
soft.
day the best metal band that we've heard.
Yeah.
Because we were sat listening to them last night when we were all fucking pissed. It was hilarious.
Just like, fuck, I didn't give these enough credit.
Yeah. It's funny. I don't know. I just come across as such a whiny person whenever you pick a metal album, Joe. 'Cause I'm just like, oh, I don't like
Sorry.
it. It sounds terrible. I'm not really like that. I'm just only like that about metal.
And not Dua Lipa, and
I've just
Billie
gotta find the
Eilish.
right
And Billie
band, you know.
Eilish, yeah.
I've got to find the right band for you guys to get into, and then all of a sudden you'll like everything else.
No, we won't. Not at all. That's not how it works.
It's gonna happen.
You don't slip a finger in the arse and suddenly
The-
love anal.
the only reason why I'm gonna-
That's a Greystone quote there.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Oh god.
Will's been awfully quiet. This gives me a slight bit of hope.
Go on, Will.
Okay. So, I didn't think this was terrible, but I also didn't enjoy it.
Oh, for God's sake. You brought me up to bring me back down
Right,
now.
there's a lot of ups and downs with this album. I think the Screamo artist was actually a good Screamo artist. However, I didn't know that there was a second vocalist, but I thought the second vocalist was awful. I've specifically put that they lack, like, for me, for stuff like this to work and Screamo to work, you need contrast in every song of there being like a really good chorus, and then the metal, like the Screamo bit, isn't as bad then. But when it's just constant, it's like no, go, and like the singer doesn't kind of do that. Like he's just, I don't think he's a very good singer at all. I think the drummer is really good. That's like the same with most metal bands. Like the drummer seems to be insane. And like Aidan says, like he's done the best with what he's kind of got. I also thought the guitarist was pretty good. As well. I just think like most metal bands have fucking insane guitarists and drummers, but then it's just kind of, if metal was just the, not all metal though, because when it's just top string bollocks, it's shit. But not all of this was. Like I think there was actually quite a bit of melody to some of these songs, which I think is why I kind of liked it a bit more than usual.
Especially that lead line in "You Are We" always gets me. It gives me the feels, like the little lead line in the start of "You Are We." The do 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 do.
Can't remember it. No, I'm joking. But no, I just think like there was a significant lack of contrast. Like I think it is just the case for me where I think Screamo only works if you've got like, say, Wage War, for example, where you've got like a really good singer to kind of break it all up and make kind of vary. I don't know. It just lacks
contrast.
Yeah, just lacks contrast.
Contrast.
I think it kind of like, I see what Joe means where it gets like you're pumped kind of thing. I think it is kind of, especially I used to like this stuff a lot more than I do now, because now I find it a bit cringe and a bit and the fact that some of the songs are just like Empire of Silence and stuff like that, it's like, oh my god, grow up. But I still think, I don't know, I get why it get your hyped, so I could definitely listen to this in like a gym if I was like proper fucking going for it. But it's just, I wouldn't ever listen to this outside of just in my own time, really.
Not any other songs at all.
Maybe the top two, but that's it.
Okay.
I have to definitely have to be in the fucking mood for him. But
I think my biggest question to you, Will, is
Fuck, marry, kill.
compare this to the Motionless in White album that you said that was all right. What would you say
this is definitely worse?
This is worse. Okay.
Yeah, this isn't as cringy as Motionless in White. However, I feel like the singer of Motionless in White isn't that bad, whereas the singer in this is terrible. But I also think Screamo in this is quite good compared to most bands you've shown.
I think we should go back to the fuck, marry, kill.
Because I didn't like the Wage War Screamo artist, I don't think. So I think if you did like the Screamo artist from this band and put him with a singer with Wage War, I would quite like that. But I just think this has been a lot more bearable than some of the stuff we have shown, and I didn't hate it. But then don't get me wrong, it wasn't exactly enjoyable either. Worse for me was probably In Another Now. I thought it was awful. I hated it. It's just horrific. And just such an awful end to the album. I think they could have done way better with that.
I think you're right there.
But third for me, which is a bit of a surprise to be honest, was Civil Isolation. And I think a lot of it is just weirdly the intro. I fucking love how like he screams along with the drummer right at the start. I think I just fucking loved that. I don't know why. This is me like 13-year-old me getting hyped. But I really like that. I think that kind of brought the whole song out a bit more for me and made me like it more. Second for me was Settle Down Society, which I all thought he was going to pick, but because to me it's like the least screamy of all of them. Because I fucking hate Empire of Silence. I think it's terrible.
It is terrible.
But I think Settle Down Silent Society, I think the backing singing works really well in that song. And it's not, like I say, not too screamo. And I think there's also a really sick bass line in the background, which I really like.
I thought Settle Down Society was the most boring song on the album. It was almost Millie's favourite just because of that alone. I thought it didn't even have anything to it at all.
I don't know. I quite liked it, especially I think as well. Again, being a sucker for bass lines, I think it was the only one that noticeably for me had a really good bass line, and I could literally point that out as soon as I listened to it. I think, and because there was less just mess. To me, it was more structured to it than any of the other songs. It just kind of worked better. But number one for me was Silence Speaks.
Knew it.
For me, a lot of it will be the fact because it is like classic Ollie Sykes, which I haven't listened to in a very long while. He doesn't do that, like scream like that anymore, but I do. It does kind of remind me of like old Bring Me the Horizon stuff, which I used to like, but not so much anymore. And I think that his drop, I knew as soon as it was Ollie Sykes, like the fucking change.
Yeah.
And I really like that drop.
Did you?
That drop's really cool. Yeah, I noticed honestly straight away.
You kind of can. You really can with Ollie Sykes.
No, you can't.
And also, I love that Joe at the start went, "Oh, I know Silent Speaks is going to be all your favourite." None of us picked it except Will, and then he went, "I knew it."
To be fair, I think
pro move.
Joe last week said about Will picking it as his favourite.
Yeah, he did say
Of course,
that.
Will
but
would. Will's predictable. He sees the word Ollie Sykes, and that's it. He just slams it at number one.
No, but I genuinely like Ollie Sykes, so it's not even.
Yeah, that's it. You genuinely like Ollie Sykes, not the song.
I think Ollie Sykes' part in that song is the best.
Yeah, I think exactly like. This is what I mean by I think he would easily bring out that song for me, no matter what, because I do love like his stuff and his voice, and then as well, I think because of the other stuff not being amazing, like the fact that he's in it just kind of definitely brings it out for me. But I also thought that like the drop in it was really cool for him, and like I like the
drop,
the actual singing in that song isn't that bad. It's like that bit that Joe kept singing earlier, the oohs. And but one thing I will say about this album is that definitely the musicians make it. So when Denver was saying about it always being the singer that makes songs, like you could get rid of any music, like the musicians and replace them. Don't think it's necessarily true for this band because I feel like the musicians actually make it. I think the singer ruins it.
See, I'd argue it is because if you took out all of them, it'd just be better.
So you just mean if the band didn't even exist?
Oh god!
But no.
So Denver's point still stands.
Yeah, I guess so.
It saddens me because like this album is kind of I'm writing a lot of songs that are very similar to this, and it saddens me that I can't show it to you guys because you'll just hate it.
No, because I actually appreciate the instrument and the musical side to it, but I just don't like what they've kind of done with it. I feel like I think I'd actually like this stuff a lot more if it was just like soundtracks to stuff, like little clips of. But then it'd be hard to know what to put it with, I guess. But I don't know. I don't think it's just my thing as much as it used to be. I used to like this stuff a hell of a lot more than I do now. But I still don't like. Don't get me wrong though. This did like kind of. I did kind of enjoy it, but didn't enjoy it at the same time. It was just better than some of the other stuff you've shown. And I think I kind of agree with you actually with like it's not like your emo. Well, you said emo, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's not like stuff like it's a bit more of like a modern take on it.
Yeah.
A bit like Wage War, but not. I can't remember what I even fucking gave Wage War, but I think this is slightly worse than Wage War.
I wish I'd picked a better Wage War album because that's definitely their worst album.
I think it's quite good.
There was 2 really good songs on it.
Yeah, I always go back to them. But yeah, pretty much that's it, really.
Fair enough. I'm accepting of that.
Well, you're not accepting of mine and Denver's.
I'm accepting that. I meant as a whole. Oh. Really, it's still. I'm still continuing my quest.
I
Yeah, that'd be
respect.
good.
I'm
I
always happy
respect
to listen
the
to it.
quest.
To be fair,
Denver respects the quest.
because I think the one day that we get one that really surprises us will be fucking sick.
The thing is, I bet it'll be one that Joe finds a bit meh.
Shit.
You
Yeah.
should have like you should have got like picked issues like later on, and then maybe we would have, like we said, probably appreciated it a lot more.
Yeah, I agree, probably. Cool.
But, yeah.
Ratings. Joe.
8.5.
Damn.
2.
1.5.
4.
Oh, that was rough.
It gets a final score of 16.
Oh, that's rough.
It did not even deserve that. Fuck off, is it rough?
That's so
Fuck, you
rough.
rate it 8.5. Suck my toes covered in Marmite.
This is always the thing with these metal albums. They always
That's
get
a low
boosted by
rating
that.
for me.
It's not a low rate.
For a metal
8.5 is
album,
ridiculously
for an
high.
album
That's
that
better
I
than
really-
Wage War.
Yeah, it is better than Wage War. I wasn't a massive fan of the Wage War album.
They all need to be round up and shot.
I preferred the Wage War album, though.
And the thing is, comparing metal singers is like comparing like child murderers. In the sense that, like, regardless of which one you think is the best, they're still awful.
They're still all child murderers.
Like, I mean, he's pretty good at shooting children. Oh, I know that.
I can get on board with that.
But he is still shooting children.
Right, well, it's your pick.
Okay. So I've decided to go with a format of like 1 week, between picks. The one pick will be like an album that's just come out or fairly recent, and then the album after I pick will be like one either from the past, not necessarily really far back. Like for example, Post Malone one wasn't that far back, but I'm classing as like a past one. So I'm going to pick a recent one.
That's not past at all.
No, it
Post
isn't.
Malone
But
again?
it was like last year, early on, I think.
It was late on last year.
October. All right, it wasn't recent though, was it? Like really recent. So
Well,
I'm
I
going
mean,
to go.
it still kind of is.
I was gonna
Fine, go
say
fuck yourself, okay?
what we're saying,
What I
Will,
mean
is you're
is it
picking an
hasn't been
old
out in the
album.
last few weeks. It hasn't
Right.
been out in the last few weeks. Okay.
Right,
Go
okay.
fuck
So
yourself.
you
I
class as
tried.
an old album.
If it's over a month old,
The Hall
it's
of
fucking-
Notes is 8. I remember this place.
So I'm going to go for a fairly recent album. So I'm going to go for, which is kind of funny because haven't we all kind of picked artists that we've already picked before again?
I mean, we did last week.
Yeah, but we have this time as well, haven't we? Oh, except for Joe.
So wait, hang on. What did you pick? Did you say it?
No, I haven't said it
Oh,
yet.
I thought it was which is kind of funny.
We can't
No.
we can't pick a double album again, can we?
It has to be. We can as long as
This
it's
would be
not.
every 5 picks, I thought.
No.
No, as long as
Yeah,
you
I
didn't
don't
pick that
really know.
artist in the last 5 picks.
Right, okay.
So I'm picking All Time
All-time
Low.
low.
Wake Up Sunshine.
Yeah, I've been meaning to listen to this.
Came out
Okay.
April 3rd, so it was only like a couple of weeks ago.
It's not ancient yet.
I didn't listen to their previous album before that, to be honest. The Washing Machine one.
The Washing Machine was my favourite of theirs. I fucking love that album. But I want an excuse to listen to this one. I've heard a few of the singles.
Oh, so Will Davey hasn't actually heard it yet.
No, not properly. I've listened to a couple of the ones that have been in the charts because of like being singles. But like they released the first 7 songs, first 6 songs, and then just released the whole album, like as a thing. It was quite. I quite
Nice.
liked how they released it. But yeah,
Wait, when did it come out?
April 3rd. It was only like a couple of weeks ago.
I'm excited for it. It'll be good, hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh, I already don't like the title of number 4, Melancholy Kaleidoscope. Fuck
Oh
me,
no,
that's a
that reminds
mouthful.
me of fucking
What's it?
My Dear Melancholy.
The Weekend.
You mean
Oh,
Chicken Run?
disgusting. Give me the Chicken Run hair.
Right, what would you
Just
say
kind
their
of-
genre is? I'm fed up of trying to Google it because you guys just sound
Well,
wrong
All Time
anyway.
Low is pop punk. Or
It is pop
alternative.
punk, so
It's
it'll be
definitely pop
alternative
punk.
for you. Lean down.
It was about as far pop punk as you can fucking go, to be honest.
I don't usually like heavy pop punk.
I can't remember what you rated the last All Time Low album.
3, I think. Oh no, 5.
maybe you'll like this one's a bit more poppy than that as well. So
The last one got the 26.
this has got a collab with Black Bear.
Oh,
classic.
shit!
Black.
Oh,
Who's
good old Black Bear.
Who did that like TikTok song not long ago? I think
Which one was that?
Hot Girl Bummer. Hang on.
Sorry, what do
classic.
you call me?
Hop Girl Bummer?
No, Hot Girl Bummer.
You'll know this one, Aidan.
Oh, I do.
Have you stopped recording them?
No, because I haven't asked you for your... I need your final thoughts, Joe. You know, like any parting words.
Final thoughts. I had some hot dogs last night.